today we are going to discuss the difference between the artificial neural network and the biological neural network. Basically, the artificial neural network resembles the characteristics of biological neural network. In this, we have the nodes, that is the interconnected processing element, and these interconnected processing elements are known as neurons or artificial neurons. And these artificial neurons are connected to each other by a connection link. And each connection link is associated with a weight which has the information about the input signal. And the internal state of the neurons is called the activation or activity level of neuron, and one neuron can send only one signal at a time. Now, basic operation of a neural network is that we have x1 as input, x2 as input, and y as output neuron. We have weighted interconnection link from x1 to y and x2 to y, that is w1 from x1 to y, w2 from x2 to y, and we have to calculate the net input, that is y in is equal to x1 w1 plus x2 w2. Now we have to apply the activation function on y in, that is net input, and we get the output. Like the function to be applied over the net input is called activation function, and weight involved in artificial neural network is equal to the slope of linear straight line, that is y is equal to mx. Now in the same way, biological neural network has three main parts, that is first one is soma or cell body, where the cell nucleus is located, dendrites where the nerve is connected to the cell body, axon which carries the impulse of the neuron. Now if electric impulse is passed between synapses and dendrites, and that is a chemical process which results in increase or decrease in the electric potential inside the body of the receiving cell. If the electric potential reaches a threshold value, that is we put a threshold value for each neurons, then the receiving cell fires and pulse action potential of fixed strength and duration is sent to the axon to the synaptic junction of the cell. After that, cell has to wait for a period, and that period is called the refractory period. Same like in artificial neural network, in biological neural network we also have y in, that is net input is equal to x1 w1 plus x2 w2 up to xn w1. The terminology that are used in biological and in the same way artificial. In biological we have cell, and in artificial neuron we represent it as neurons. In biological we have dendrites, and artificial neuron we have weight or interconnections. In biological we have soma, and in artificial neuron we have net input. Same in biological we have axon, and in artificial neuron we have output. Now the basically difference between the ANN and BNN, that is artificial neural network and biological neural network. Brains mean biological and computer means artificial neural network. First point is speed. Now in brain the execution time is few milliseconds, and in computer execution time is few nanoseconds. So the speed of computer is higher than the brain. Now comes to the processing. In brain we can perform, in both brain and computer we can perform massively parallel operations simultaneously, but computer is faster than the biological network. In brain, we have number of neurons 10 is to 11, and the number of interconnection between them is 10 is to 15. So the complexity of brain is higher than the computer. But in computer, the complexity and size depend upon the chosen application, like the application we choose and the network designer. Now storage capacity. Information is stored in interconnection or in synapse strength in brain, and new information is stored without destroying the old one. But sometimes we fail to recollect the information. Suppose we learn something in the past, and if we want to recall that thing, sometimes we are not able to do so. In computer, the information is stored in continuous memory location, and overloading may destroy the older locations. But once the information is stored, it can be easily retrieved. Now we have tolerance. In brain we have fault tolerant, and it store and retrieve information even the interconnection fails. We have 10 to 15 interconnection. If some of the interconnection fails, we can then store and retrieve information. It accepts redundancies. But in computer there is no fault tolerance. Information corrupted if the network connection is disconnected. Suppose we have various topology like ring topology, bus topology, star topology. In bus topology, suppose one interconnection between two buses is destroyed, so the whole information will be corrupted. And in computer there is no redundancies. Now come to control mechanism. In brain, it depends on the active chemicals, and neuron connections are strong or weak. But in computer control, mechanism is done through the CPU, and it is very simple as compared to the brain. So that these are the difference between the brain versus computer, that is the biological neural network and the artificial neural network. Thank you.